Hello. Welcome to the channel. Today I want to talk about ZIM, and more importantly, I want to talk about why it's always good to buy at least two contracts. It doesn't always work out for me if it's too expensive because I just play for a little taste, right? I mean, I try to make smart choices, but I don't want to gamble, right? Because my goal is passive income. However, with the tariffs coming off, and I should have reacted sooner. I wasn't thinking sooner, but ZIM is one of those shipping companies. But the cool thing about it is, though, is it doesn't have a lot of long-term contracts. Its contracts tend to be shorter dated. So, given how there was probably tons of things that need to be shipped from China, et cetera, I kind of figured that this one would react better because it can demand more pricing, right? Versus the other ones, which maybe have longer term contracts. And it looked like, because I got in on the 13th, which was Tuesday, um, and I got in the morning, and I'll show you what I did, what I bought. But it was entering this gap, right? There's this gap up here at 1777. It's down here, and it looked like it was going to fill the gap. And the other thing that's coming up is that there's earnings that are going to be released on Monday before the market opens. And so there was sort of a potential news event where not only would they talk about the previous quarter, but it would talk about the future earnings, right? The future revenue because of this unwinding of the tariffs or, a lower tariff rate, blah, 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 blah. And so what I did drop though is I dropped an anchored VWAP from the most kind of recent high. I mean, I could have dropped it anywhere, but it looks like it's right now it's filled the gap. It's now into this zone and it's bouncing up against this VWAP. Tonight, right now, today's Thursday, tomorrow's gonna be Friday. And my goal is to get out Friday out of most everything that I have uh, related to ZIM, that is. So you can see I bought two contracts, you know, early that morning, about an hour into the market, my time. And then I picked up some shares because I want to try that. And then I also picked up one contract at a higher strike, 22, about the 20s for June, 22s. And then I bought another one. I got a little greedy. And then and then the next day when it popped, I got out right in the morning. I got rid of half of them. The thinking is usually if you're not a well, I'm a total moron, but if you're not a total moron, your options at some point are going to be profitable. Generally, has been my experience. To what degree of profitability, that varies. But there's always seems like to be a time when someone's profitable and they just hold on too long. So my rule of thumb, though, is I try to buy at least two, and I'll sell one if it's doubled so that I have the investment for nothing, right? So I keep one for free basically, or it's made a lot of profit, market's getting kind of soft. I'll sell one of them, which will then allow me to hold on to the other one a bit longer because I have some profit already. Does that make sense? Once again, I'm not trying to hit home runs because that's just it's not always the case. People destroy their accounts trying to hit home runs when you can make money doing, singles and doubles. And so that morning, the 20s, they actually got up to $100 after I sold, but it is what it is. But I got out of one, right? I paid 35 for one, I paid 70 for both, and I got 90. So I not only did I cover my investment, I made a profit, and I still have a contract, which I'm going to sell Friday regardless. I don't want to hold this option into earnings because you never know what's going to happen. Likewise, with the 22s, I bought them for 19 and $20 each. Just call it $20. I sold off one, paid for my investment, and took a profit. Now, I used a little bit of the profit and I got greedy and I bought in and I bought just like a flyer, right? The June 20th $25 call. I'm gonna keep that regardless. I want to see what happens on Monday. It's for my profit, it's fine. But I'm pretty sure I for sure I'm selling at the 20, regardless. I'm selling at the 20 because that's where a lot of the profit's at. I may or may not keep the 22, but for sure I'll keep the 25. But the point of the video is to talk about ZIM, obviously, and the potential for that, but also just to emphasize how buying two options gives you a lot of flexibility rather than buying just one. Because a lot of times people on Reddit, especially Wall Street Bets, you only got one, and you're like, should I sell or not sell? But if you sell, you're out of the trade, and you don't want to lose your 10 bag or whatever. So you get caught up all these choices. When you got two, you have flexibility, right? You can de-risk by selling one, still have one, and be okay. And if the contract's too expensive just to buy one, you can always do debit debit spreads, right? Maybe you can't get the sexy runs, but you can you can at least have have a piece of the action. And I'm going to make a video about Tesla where I use debit spreads to get into the trade. Anyway, that's about it. Once again, oh wait, hold on. I also did a trade on Celsius, and I've traded Celsius in the past, but it's gotten above the various um, what do I say? The moving averages. That's what I'm looking for right now. And so I got in on the 13th also that day, and I got out the next day using the same approach of buying two and selling one. And I drew this anchored VWAP from the peak, where it's been. So Celsius is kind of buttoned up against that right now. So my hope is that it's going to break through. Uh, if it breaks through, obviously, then you know, who knows what could happen. Obviously, the market overall is very high right now, right? The S&P 500 is at what, 590. So who knows what could happen, but it was doing okay. And so anyway, that's about it. So hold on, just to show you. So I bought two, and then the next day when the market was hot in the morning, I got out, about 30 minutes into the market. Uh, I sold the one for break even, right? So basically, I have one free contract, and we'll just let it ride and see what happens with it. Uh, that's about it. Anyway, uh, not financial advice, just for entertainment purposes only. Um, good luck. Be careful. Trade smart.